Whether you're shopping at your favorite grocery store,
Earn up to 4% cash back on everyday purchases with Scotiabank Gold MasterCard.
traveling to your next destination,
Seize the summer with your NCB Visa credit card for a chance to win a vacation to Panama.
or maybe you are a money-conscious spender trying to save on gas while filling up your tank.
Cash or card? Listen, big man, why would I take my cash to buy gas? I pay for everything with my Sagicor Bank credit card.
As these commercials will tell you, there's a credit card for everyone. And those cards can reward you thousands of dollars each year. That is, if you use them to your advantage. Hi, my name is Damien, and today we are looking into why credit cards are a good financial tool when used properly. Let's get into it, starting with your perception. Let's face it, some people love them, others hate them. One of my favorite finance influencers is Dave Ramsey. He's famously against credit cards, and his argument, credit cards remove the emotional friction of spending money, and therefore you have less control over your spending, and you spend more.
Cut up your credit cards. If you use a credit card, you don't want to be rich.
Yep,
I like that line. That's a good line.
That's my favorite line. I tell it to people all the time.
And look, he has a point. But the point is not to get rich from credit cards. It's to benefit from the activities that you would be doing anyway. The bottom line is, credit cards don't create debt. Poor money management does. For context, here in Jamaica, cash is still the preferred payment option. As a matter of fact, over 22% of Jamaicans don't even have a bank account. Despite this, there are over 400,000 credit cards in circulation. So these little magic plastics are not strange in our society. I must add though that credit card debt owed by Jamaicans has been trending up in recent years. So there is a risk in using them, and banks make a lot of money from their misuse.
Credit cards work like this. Pay the minimum balance to avoid late fees. Pay the full statement balance to avoid interest.
In simple terms, every time you spend money on a credit card, you are borrowing from the bank, which must be paid back. To avoid interest charges, pay off your balance on time and in full every month at the end of your billing period. If you don't, the banks are going to charge you interest on that balance, ranging from 30 to over 50%. So treat it like a debit card and don't spend money that you don't have. Okay, enough fear mongering. What if I told you that you are leaving money on the table by not using a credit card? Here's what's in it for you if you use a credit card responsibly. The first and most popular benefit is rewards. You can earn rewards like cashback, travel points that go toward flights, access to amenities like airport lounges, savings on hotels, rental cars, and the list goes on. There's also fraud and purchase protection that goes with a credit card. For example, if you have a fraudulent charge on your card from somebody either cloning it or taking a picture of the information when you weren't looking, you can more easily dispute these transactions and get that transaction reversed or your money back while still having access to your actual money. Whereas on a debit card, your money is already gone, leaving you in distress while you try to figure this issue out with the bank. Credit cards also build your credit history. So when the time comes and you need access to capital for a car or maybe a house, the banks already have a track record of how you manage your spending and your debt, and that could work out in your favor. And the last thing is cash flow. If you don't have the cash on hand, you could use a credit card to cover your expenses interest-free for a short period. This is especially useful if you have a business and you need inputs for a job now with the expectation of payment before the end of your billing cycle. But before you run off to grab the first one you can get your hands on, know that there are as many types of credit cards as there are flavors of cranberry juices. There are reward cards, travel cards, cashback cards, and the list goes on. Different options that may or may not be right for you depending on your personal circumstances. Getting the most out of your credit card depends on your spending habits. So how do you choose? Which perks save you the most money? If you're like me and you spend a lot on recurring expenses like groceries and gas, prescriptions and so on, then a cashback card like the Scotia Gold MasterCard could work for you. You earn 4% cashback on groceries and gas, 2% cashback on pharmacies, and 1% on all other purchases. Plus, you get a sign-on bonus. You might even consider a second card that gives a higher cashback rate than that 1% on all purchases from Scotiabank to cover or claw back even more money, like NCB's Visa Platinum that gives a minimum 1.5% on all your purchases. If you like to travel or you must travel frequently, you should consider travel reward cards like the JetBlue card by CIBC, which gives 10,000 points on your first spend and 5,000 points every year on your anniversary. You also get 2 times the points on some JetBlue purchases and points on everyday purchases. Those points can be redeemed on JetBlue flights and vacation packages. Scotiabank has a similar travel reward card for American Airlines, and CIBC has one for British Airways. You have other reward cards like the Sagicor Bank PriceSmart Visa Gold that rewards you for spending at PriceSmart. Then you have Scotiabank Magna MasterCard that earns you Magna points, and other cards that give huge sign-on bonuses. Other cards may not offer reward, but instead give like welcome bonuses, they give complimentary memberships, and so on. Most, if not all, credit cards offer the purchase protection, but when signing up, I recommend you check the fine print to make sure you understand the terms and conditions. I also want to note that I was not sponsored by any of these banks, but before you run to get a new card, let's talk about using credit cards responsibly. Used right, credit cards are an effective and secure cash flow management tool, and at a minimum, I think everyone should be using at least one credit card to cover their primary expenses. And if you are racking up those points, use them. So many people never claim their reward points, and it doesn't get more valuable over time. If you would like to know more about how they work, I recommend you contact a representative from your bank or speak to a trusted financial advisor. For those already with credit cards and have debt, there's no shame. A lot of people do. The focus now should be to stop spending on that card and reducing that debt as quickly as possible while analyzing your relationship with money. There are a lot of reducing debt strategies, but the one I recommend is called the debt snowball method, created and popularized by Dave Ramsey.
Here's the debt snowball in 4 easy steps. Step 1, list your debts from smallest to largest regardless of interest rate. Step 2, make minimum payments on all of your debts except for the smallest one. Step 3, throw as much extra money as you can onto that smallest debt until it's gone. Step 4, repeat until each debt is paid in full.
And there you have it. You've made it this far in the video. Thank you for sticking around. If you find this type of content useful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. Drop a comment and let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinion on credit cards, and share yours for others to consider. Also, follow me on all my socials here. I'll see you in the next one.